Boys and girls, we are going to read a story now from Numbers chapter 13 to 14 because it is going to help us to understand what is going on in our story today in the book of Joshua. Now, in Numbers chapter 13 to 14, God, you'll remember, had promised to give his people a land where each tribe would have their own place to live. When God first wanted to bring them to the promised land, you'll remember, some of them were afraid to take the land. They didn't think that God was powerful enough to take it from his enemies and to give it to them. Only who? Who were the two spies out of the 12? Only Joshua and Caleb trusted God and wanted to go into the land. So, God punished the nation for not trusting him. Now, over the past few weeks in the book of Joshua, we have been with the Israelites as God finally took the next generation into the promised land. Because remember, part of the punishments of the previous generation was that none of them were going to enter the promised land, not even Moses. We've been looking in Joshua how he helped this next generation to destroy Jericho and the city of Ai. And we knew that it was God that was fighting for them because of how they won each of these battles. Now, boys and girls, I've got a question for you. How do you feel about waiting for your birthday or for your Christmas presents and you have to wait to open them? How do you feel? Well, we know that presents are often given a few days, especially for Christmas. They're given a few days before Christmas. They're left under the Christmas tree, maybe sometimes even for your birthday. Someone gives you a present and says, here you go, open this on your birthday. And it is just the worst, isn't it? You're just itching to open that up to be able to enjoy what is inside. Israel had a similar problem. Israel had been promised by God that they were going to be given the promised land. And they had waited a very, very, very long time to receive it. And they must have been so excited. But when the time came to give each tribe their land, Caleb stepped forward first. And he asked to be given his share first. I want you to have a look. I hope you've got your Bibles open to Joshua chapter 14. Have a look in verse 6 to 9. I want to show you, there's three things I'm going to show you, and they all begin with an R. Okay, so the first thing is that in verse 6 to 9, Caleb reminds Joshua of God's promise and also of his own faithfulness. Caleb was not boasting. He was simply reminding Joshua that he had faithfully trusted the promise that God had made, and he was still committed to serving the Lord. Then I want you to look in verse 10 to 12, and our second R is that Caleb boldly asked to be given what was promised to him 45 years, not minutes, earlier. So he reminded Joshua, then he requested, and thirdly, we're told that Caleb was rewarded. Caleb was rewarded because he had trusted the promise that God had made many years before, and he still trusted God enough to ask for his reward. So boys and girls, as you read through the story, and there's going to be a video as well that you can watch, I want you to look out for the three R's: Caleb's reminder, his request, and his reward. Enjoy the story.